This podcast is brought to you by the Ginger Camel Network. Visit us at www.gingercamelnetwork.com.
Hello everybody and welcome to In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast. I always get that wrong. I don't know why. It's just kind of, I gotta get it right. Anyway, today we have got an amazing guest. Today is he's one of my inspirations, and literally I'm telling the truth, one of my inspirations in Qatar. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Abbassi. Mr. Abbassi, welcome to the show. It is a great privilege that you've come here today. So please, could you tell our listeners exactly why I'm so inspired about you? What do you do?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, thank you very much for your kind words. I don't know what to say when you talk like that about me.
You are. Honestly,
thank you very much, and I'm honored to be here today, and I'm honored to address yourself and all the listeners.
Perfect.
Whatever you want to know about me,
It's kind of with yourself, with the jobs that you do. I find it incredible. I've been very lucky that you're fantastic on LinkedIn. I've got to say that first. Your LinkedIn profile is fantastic, and the amount of people that I've when I talk about you, because let me tell the story. So I got in contact with you on LinkedIn. You've got some pretty high level jobs that you do.
Thank you.
And I thought to myself, let me just see if he'll respond to one of my messages. You responded very quickly, and I was kind of, oh yeah. And I told you about the what we were doing with the street soccer and what we were doing with the students. We were bringing 25 students over from the UK to see exactly what Qatar was like. And you said, come and see me. And I was like, God, this is fantastic. So you invited me into your office, and you said, would you like a coffee? You then made a phone call, and this was in about 30 seconds. So about 1 minute later, you looked up and you said, okay, you're going upstairs. Okay, I've just made the call. The people upstairs is the ones that you need to talk to. I was distraught. I thought to myself, I had this massive opportunity with QS, the executive director of QS, one of the executive directors of QSL. This is unbelievable for me. And he's sending me upstairs. What am I going to do? It's going to, oh my word, that was the worst meeting I've ever been to. In fact, it turned out quite the opposite, because what you did for me was you said you gave me two people that I needed to speak to. From there, and I'm seriously, I'm not exaggerating here, from that, sending me upstairs was probably one of the best things from my career in Qatar. I've been here 10 years, and it was one of those that you introduced me to the right people, and they took it on from there. And from there, I wouldn't be doing the podcast. So that's why one of the reasons I wanted to get you on, because you were the one that started that chain reaction. And from that chain reaction, I find myself doing one of the best things I've ever done in my life before. So that's the thing that I wanted to start off with. And I'm sorry to talk so much in this part, but I wanted to go to your LinkedIn is a very important thing. Okay. And I'm not sure whether I tell them your jobs first or your positions. I'm going to start with this one. On Mr. Abbassi's LinkedIn, it says inspiring people to inspire others to do great for the world. Okay, now if I ever saw that on somebody's heading before, I'd think to myself, what's this person like? I must admit it was so powerful for me, because it's exactly what you do. I have spoken to different people, and they've all said the same. The way that you've helped them with just an introduction through LinkedIn, where you've helped them progress in some way or another for them to do bigger and better things. And I spoke to 3 people, and they've all said the same. So that was the thing that I wanted to get over first. The second thing is that you're executive director of competition and football development in QSL. Massive position. It's kind of, and then not just there, you're also director of operations for the national team of the QFA. So how do you? And I've seen you in your office, and I remember coming into your office last time, and you had meetings going on. You had to walk out of meetings because there was important phone calls. How do you cope with all of your positions? And can you tell us a little bit about your positions?
Thank you very much again for the kind words. I don't know what to say when after all these nice words. I don't think I'm all that. I think on the question, how do I do that? It's thanks to my team. I'm very lucky to work together with some of the finest people in the football business, at the national teams, as well as in QSL. I'm very lucky to have great leaders to work under them, so they inspire me, they support me, and I always try to get the things as good as possible for the country, for the football, and towards the purpose of whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's the big secret is really the teamwork and the team behind it. And we do our strategies, we do our planning, but if you don't have the people to help you, to support you, to believe in you, to believe in what you say, there's nothing we can do.
And again, we're going back to the LinkedIn, and I strongly suggest anybody, Mr. Ahmed Abbassi, have a look on LinkedIn. You're so active, and what you do is leadership. You kind of talk about leadership, and I wish I would have wrote in the back of my book so that I could have been like a magician, because I knew you were going to say your team leadership, and it was all about leading your team and making sure that you give them the tools to be able to lead. And that's fantastic, and also you're studying for your PhD as well.
Yes, my DBA, a doctorate in business administration.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Thank you.
It's your team that helps you with your positions. So the successes that the football teams had just now, that must have been incredible for you. Did you expect them to win the Asian Cup?
To be honest, I expected that we would go very, very far. So I was hoping, of course, that we would win the competition. I'm always have been somebody who, when I go into a competition, or when my team goes into a competition, I always target, to get out of this competition with winning the competition.
Right.
So it's always, if we don't win something, it's a disappointment, other than satisfaction of just being second or third or whatever it is. So of course we were very proud.
Yeah.
Thanks to the team, thanks to all the supporters, thanks to our leadership, that we got this great success, this historic success.
It was incredible. I watched all the games, and one of the things that really stood out for me, and I've got to say why I think, dear me, they say the word inshallah, okay, yes. If it's God's will, and it was God's will, okay, that's what I strongly believe. When I saw those players in the UAE, and they were celebrating a goal, and they were getting water bottles chucked at them.
Yes.
And they were getting things chucked at them from the crowd, and nobody reacted. They were just calm. They were controlled. They were a credit to Qatar. They really made people. I'm from the UK. I was proud. I was proud of the way that they conducted themselves. And again, the word inshallah is the best word to use, because it was God's will that you won the competition.
Yes.
You kind of, and when I see the hard work that because we did bring those students over, and we did go round to the Aspire Academy, and the work and the progress that everybody's making there is incredible. So it was a good, as you said, it's a team. It's the whole team. Yes. But it must be a really proud moment for yourself to be part of this.
Yes, of course, it was a very, very proud moment. To be honest, we've been working on it for quite some time, so the whole team has been working on it. The players, the technical team, the administrative team, the medical team. So we surrounded some of the best players and most talented players with some of the best technical, medical, and administrative stuff to be able to develop and to be ready for it. We planned so much. We've had a strategy which we implemented. We played against very big teams such as Switzerland. We beat Switzerland in Switzerland. We drew against Iceland in Belgium. We played some big matches. So the Asian Cup is one big step, but we have very high objectives, and we are on the way there.
And again, this is something I remember doing a year ago. Maybe it was about 5 years ago now. Time seems to be flying. Where it was when you won the bid for the World Cup.
Another proud moment.
A very proud
Yes.
moment. I was here on that. And I remember the envelope opening,
Yes.
and then the whole Corniche went crazy.
Yes.
And it wasn't just for one evening; it was for the whole of the weekend.
Yes.
It was just solid. It was up and down.
Yes.
It was gridlocked. It was one of the another one of those best experiences that you
Yes.
can live by. And I remember going back there because, and I know that, and let's get I remember people saying, well, it's kind of, the World Cup, it was supposed to, look, we're in the Middle East, okay? The World Cup had never been to the Middle East. The Emir, Sheikh Hamad at the time, he was doing so much for world peace in the Middle East. You deserved it. You deserved to have the rights to come and do this and put one of the biggest competitions in the world on.
Yes.
It was your right, and it was so much for the people. And I said to them, and people said, but it's kind of, will they be able to do it? You know what? I've been since that time. There's been many factors that's gone along, but everybody's doing it from there.
Yes.
And no, you haven't always got it right.
Yes.
But you soon put it right. If there's a problem, one thing that I've noticed with any kind of part of Qatar is if they see they've got a problem, they'll change it overnight. They'll put new laws in place so that they can improve. And I kind of, one of the biggest statements in my life, I look up and I say, listen, the hardest thing to do in business is to grow, is to expand.
Yes.
Because and the biggest companies have the same problem. They all have a problem with expanding. So can you imagine when a country has to expand to them? Does people just realize for 1 second how much pain is going to be involved in that?
Yes.
But Qatar is just taking it in their stride. And it's like, as you said, they bring experts in, and this is what I like. They bring experts in to teach them and to show them exactly, to gain that experience. And I love that I do love that about Qatar, and I can't wait for the World Cup.
Yes.
But I can't wait for the coming up to the World Cup. Look, when does the World Cup Championships? Is it you've just won? The Qatar has just won the FIFA's going to bring the World Club Championships.
Yes, that's a different competition. We're very excited about that.
Yeah.
So for 2 years we will host the FIFA Club World Cup.
That's going to be
which is an amazing.
Yeah, that's going to. I can't wait for that to happen. but going back to the national team, I think that even the coach, I can't wait. I remember we do some stuff. We do street soccer for QSL, and I was lucky enough to hold on to the Asian Cup.
Yes,
because we were doing an event at Al Sadd, and I had the cup in my hands. I can't wait to meet you're going to have to help me get the coach on.
The coach is incredible.
Incredible.
So I have a lot of respect for the coach. He is a hard worker. He's a good leader. He plans ahead. He works so much. He really deserves the success he had, and is still going to have with the national teams.
Yeah, and as you said, he just, you see him and he doesn't get excited.
Yes.
But when he did get excited, it was amazing. It was fantastic.
Yes, and his personality is also very good. He's very a lot of humility. He's very kind. He's very shy, so he's a very nice guy.
Yeah, you'll have to help me try and get him on the show, because it would be a monumental thing for us to get him on. It would be. But again, that was, I must admit, the Asian Cup was just fantastic. It was fantastic. Yes. And going on from there, it's like and I'm thinking of all the highlights that we can talk about. The Al Wakra.
Yes.
When it was opened, I went to it.
Yes.
I made myself to go on the metro, which was amazing.
Yes.
And then the organisation was really, really good about it. And the stadium is just breathtaking, right? It's just, I can't believe that I was sitting back, but I felt that I was right next to the pitch.
Yes.
Fantastic stadium.
Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. With QSL, what's your role in QSL? What do you manage, or what do you look after from that side?
Okay, so we have 3 divisions in QSL.
Okay.
We have the operations, we have the marketing and commercial aspects, and we have the football division, which I lead with a wonderful team, and so we take care of the competition, which is the Qatar Stars League,
okay,
QNB Stars League, as well as the Qatar Cup.
Okay.
So it's very exciting for us. It's a good competition, and we're trying to develop it through our football development. We are one of the leaders in football innovation.
Okay, yeah.
And we have players affairs, of course, where we try to enhance the conditions of the context and the professionalism in the country.
Yeah. No, it's really good. I've been to some games. We were talking earlier that we want to try and get more expats involved.
Yes.
It would be great if we could do that, and because they're not bad. What we need to do is just get that atmosphere in the grounds.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that there's going to be some time that we can try and work on that.
Yes.
I would love to try and do those things, because they are great clubs. We got shown around Duhel.
Yes.
What a great place!
Yes.
And they let us onto the pitch. We took pictures. Yes. They got gifts for everybody. It was fantastic.
Yes.
And that's something that we're going to be working on, because all these clubs are really good.
Yes.
They've got their following. Yes. The final was brilliant. The show that you put on was brilliant. Yeah, it was very good. And so again, I didn't really touch on the director of operations for the national team. So what does that entail?
Yeah, so together with a wonderful team, we make a strategy to prepare all our national teams, and we implement it. So we prepare all the logistics, all the camps, all the competitions for our national teams. To develop them to be as good as possible.
Yeah. To
be on the world stage.
Yeah, and what you with everything that's going on, we briefly spoke about Aspire,
yes.
Aspire Academy, which let's be honest, and I've heard this say from numerous successful people in the training in football training. They say it's probably one of the best facilities in the world.
It is. It's not only one of the best facilities in the world, but also the academy is one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world.
Yeah.
So we're very, very lucky to have something like Aspire Academy, which we work very, very closely together to have an optimized team for the future.
Yeah, and the one thing that and I'm going to bring it up now because I think it needs to be. It's like these the way like the Aspire Academy, and it's not just with the Aspire Academy. It's everywhere that I go. As I said, there was a video that we done with the heart and minds.
Yes.
Qatar is going to succeed with the heart and minds. They're going to they won't give in. They'll just keep on going, and they want to. It's a 2030 vision that we're all heading towards, and it's very important. It's not the World Cup. The World Cup is going to be an event that we all.
Yes.
But you've got further things in mind.
Yes.
So that's important. But the one thing that I saw, and I like looking, I don't want to just listen to, this is fantastic, yes, this is wonderful. I've been in the humble position where I've managed to watch people like yourself, as I said, and I'm a great fan of yours, a massive fan. And I see people, because it's not what we talk sometimes,
yes, it's your actions.
Yes. And when you see those actions, like I go to Aspire Academy, there's a guy called Firas.
Yes. Good friend of mine.
He's another one of those.
Yes.
He's going to come on the show. He was going to come on this week, but he had to travel. But he's one of those that has been there for nearly 12. He's been there for quite some time. And again, everybody says he's brilliant. He's fantastic.
Yes.
But it's what he does after, like when you're not with. So when I walk out with him, you've got all the young academy, young children, okay, young adults that are all coming up to him and have seen him and worked with him through the progress. So you had young kids coming up to him and hugging him and saying, "How are you? It's great."
Yes.
But then you had the senior ones that had been there for quite some time, and they're doing exactly the same thing. And money can't buy that. That when people say, yeah, they've got all the money in the world, it's not about money in this situation. It's about how much you put into those people. And I think that's so important.
Yes.
It is so important. And I know that that's what you do.
Yes. Because I believe that purpose is very important. It's important for you to understand your purpose, and it's important as a leader to understand and to apply the purpose of your organization.
Yeah.
And then the next step would be, of course, that your team, if everyone in the team knows, understands, and lives the purpose of the organization, and this is what we are luckily. Having in QSL and QFA and Inspire.
You say the word luck. We've discussed this on several podcasts. you've got to make your own luck. It's
Yes.
luck is one of those bonuses that come along. Okay, you've got to put that time and effort in. And again, I don't want to kind of seem like I'm praising you with so much, but it's with people like yourself within those institutions that are making that difference. Because then all of a sudden, when you do put that type of effort in and time and effort in, the luck comes along. But it's not by chance. You know, there is, and you're doing a magnificent. You're doing I'm going to keep on saying this, but you're doing a great job. What's your dreams and aspirations for Qatar with the next 4 years coming up to the World Cup with the sports and football?
Well, we you have to have big dreams. So we want to be maybe as far as possible in the World Cup. We want to go to the World Cup with the under-20s. We went this year to the under-20 World Cup. So we're planning in the next few years also with the youth teams to go as far as possible. We want to go to the Olympics in 2020. So we have big objectives, and we're working towards it. So it's not just dreams. It's it's an objective. It's a milestone that we want to reach, and we've proven that in the past. We're now playing in the Copa America. We have shown the world that we are at the level of at the highest level of world football. So we don't need to hide.
Yeah.
We are working towards very, very high goals.
Yeah.
And it's we believe that we can reach the highest objectives, and with time, everyone is going to believe with us. So now people are starting to see and believe with us.
Well, again, going back to the students, we brought 25 students from UCFB. They're all based in Wembley Stadium. Okay, they came out and you helped me so much on getting that organised.
Thank you.
They came out with you've seen the video. They came out and they didn't know what to expect when they came to Qatar. They spent 5 days here. We gave them a fantastic time. They saw and they spoke with different people of within some very high institutions here, and they all went back without a shadow of doubt. There was not one of them that went back with the same thought that they'd come out with. And again, I keep on, because this is where Qatar is going to stand on. There, we talk about legacy,
yes,
and this is why what I was coming to was Qatar has got a legacy, and when you got the World Cup or the Olympics, everybody is talking about the legacy it's going to leave.
Yes.
What's going to happen when the World Cup's after the World Cup? But what I want to get over to people is think about the legacy now that it's provided. That there's a Supreme Committee that's getting ready for the World Cup to come here and be hosted here. But the legacy here with just normal businesses and people getting involved in the Supreme Committee or the QSL or the different types of areas, it's like the amount of businesses that are coming here to take advantage of that. The legacy is going to be it's one of those that I've heard of World Cups before. Their stadium's empty afterwards, and there's all that. But this isn't the story. You've got to give it the whole story, and the legacy is happening now. It's like the Jazor Institute, Generation Amazing. It's unbelievable things, and they're going to last for so long after the World Cup. But it's happening now, and that's why I would like more people to understand and more people to really believe in what people like you are doing here.
To host such a big event, such as the World Cup or the Olympics, it's a catalyst, for the legacy.
Yeah.
So we are aware that the main goal is the legacy, and that's the main gain of such an event. So with such an event, you align all the stakeholders, everyone involved, everyone in the country, to achieve highest standards by that time.
Yeah.
So it's the event is just 1 month, but the gain is so much bigger, and that's the true legacy.
Yeah, Mr. Abbassi, it has been an absolute pleasure with you coming on to the show today.
Pleasure is mine.
And again, I love people like yourself. Sometimes, no matter how big and I say this is one of my mantras is no matter how big, don't worry about how small a difference you can make to some people. It's a huge difference. Keep on making that difference because you are making such a huge difference. I'm humbled in your presence.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the show. I really, honestly, and I keep on going back to it. Just go on to LinkedIn, and look at the words that you're saying in the post and everything. It's well worth it. And believe. One thing that I would say is that when you can be a little bit intimidated here, but all you've got to do is offer your hand out of friendship, okay? And I did that with LinkedIn, and it was transforming to me as an individual. So never be afraid, okay? And keep pushing. Whatever your dreams are, keep on going for them, because they do happen, right? Dreams are there, and they do come to fruition. Okay, Sat, thank you for listening. Until next time, thanks very much. Everyone, thank you for listening. This has been brought to you by Ginger Camel Network. Please send us your feedback on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. And don't forget to review us on your favourite podcast app.